And welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister, Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for all those of you who decided to join us here on this Saturday morning. It's the Saturday morning sports update. If you guys are watching live, a big shout out to those of you who are watching on the replay, because I know many of you watch us on the replay as well. We thank God for each and every one of you. If you're in the ATL, you already know what time it is. The weather is doing all kinds of stuff. We had some snow flurries this morning. Now the sun is out. I've been out there putting some salt out there. So, regardless of what's happening, I hope you all are safe and well. Don't go nowhere. If you're in the ATL area, keep your behinds in house. And that's where we're at right now. We're broadcasting again live from just outside of downtown Atlanta. And I have a good friend of the show. He also does great stuff here around Metro Atlanta in terms of high school football live streaming. You can check him out on Georgia Media Network. They primarily do a lot of games down here, like myself in Clayton County, and they also do other things as well. I simply call him DT. Dennis Thomas is in the building. DT, what's up, man?
Thank you, Johnson, for that introduction, man. Hey, look, it's about time we got together here. I know you've been trying to invite me several times, and we always been tied up. But hey, we definitely want to get on with you, brother, and looking forward to working with you in the future on some sporting events. And of course, we both love these Hawks and Falcons. Thanks again.
Well, yeah, man. I'm just glad you can take time out of your schedule, man. I know you are a busy guy, a lot going on. Matter of fact, we were, if it wasn't for this bad weather, we were going to try to do a game tonight, but I think they're going to shut everything down, bro.
Yeah.
I think I'll tell everybody stay home and do that. But it's all good, man. We just appreciate the fact that we're out here, man, and be able to chop it up a little bit. Later on in the broadcast, we're going to bring on our good buddy D. Orlando Ledbetter. For those of you who are from Metro Atlanta, he is the number one beat writer and chronicler of everything Atlanta Falcons. He's going to talk to us about the new Falcons coaching change, and also he's going to talk to us about what he's seeing at the Senior Bowl, because that's where he either is or leaving from right now. For those of you watching, you see, we're going to, like I said, we're going to do a recap of the Stefanski press conference. And the big question is for you Hawks fans, have the Hawks finally got it together? DT, Hawks have won 3 of their last 4. They won 3 in a row. Unfortunately, due to some injuries in a back-to-back game, they were unable to knock off KD and his squad from Houston. But like I said, man, they've been looking really outstanding this last week. Well, what do you think the key is for the Hawks? I mean, I know you watch them from time to time. What do you like about what you're seeing with them?
I tell you what, I really like what I'm seeing with Hawks right now. I mean, a lot of changes. We're all going to miss Trey Young, but sometimes it's a business, like they always say, and you got to do what you got to do to win. One thing I've been saying for the last couple of years that the Hawks will really need a big man in the middle. We need somebody in the middle to kind of hold things down. But I like what I'm seeing with the Hawks. I like the fact that they got a lot of new players, a lot of new faces. They're fast, they're quick. They got people on the bench they can bring off to make things happen. So I'm expecting big things in the Hawks. Maybe not right now, maybe not this season, but I like what I see with the coaching staff, with the players coming in. I see a lot. Heard a rumor that they're looking at getting this guy from New Orleans. I wouldn't give up too much right now. I like where they're going. I wish they would get somebody big in the middle. That's the only thing I'm really looking at.
Hey, big man. Speaking of big man, this guy right here, KD, kind of lit us up here. You can see Dyson Daniels tried to guard him, giving up obviously about 6 or 7 inches. And KD, as he always does when it comes to ATL, lit us up. 31 points for KD, a guy, future first ballot Hall of Famer. But, really in that game, BT, they were really in the game early, but I just think they ran out of the gas. And then the other thing, too, is you had not one but 2 key players out. Jalen Johnson couldn't make it. And, of course, my man, Okongwu got his teeth knocked out. So.
Man, that was horrible, man. I saw that the game before. I mean, Congo plays a big role in the ball game as well as Jalen. I mean, those guys put up points, and Congo does a good job down low. KD, he's the kind of guy, he's going to get his points, man. You can't really stop him. You can try to slow him down a little bit, but you just got to get your points. And I mean, if you look at most of the Hawk game this season, that we put up a lot of points, and sometimes we put up a lot of points and lost the game. But you got to get those points on the board. And with Jalen being out of the ball game, I mean, you could expect. I mean, it was a tough effort, and we did the best we could. But I'm going to continue watching. I hope everybody just continue watching the Hawks, because the Hawks going to be in the next couple of years. You're going to start to see we're going to be a notable team like some of those Boston teams was a couple of years ago. And I'm not going to say we're going to win a championship right away, but it's worth watching. I try to watch as much as I can, and Being from, well, I'm not from Atlanta, but been in Atlanta for over 40 years. I mean, I support the Hawks, I support the Falcons, and everything here. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt, man. Like I said again, they got a squad that I think is going to be reckoned with. It's all going to be a question of are they going to be able to stay healthy? Because Jalen Johnson, as great as he is, one of the problems he's had is staying healthy. Matter of
Right.
fact, he's out again with an injury because of the way he plays. He's so aggressive, plays over the rim. But like I said, his stats are, I mean, this guy's putting up, all-star and really to some degree superstar stats. I
Right.
mean, even LeBron said that, and this was high praise. LeBron said that he basically, if he continues on this trajectory, now we don't want to, get crazy because the guy they're comparing him to is a top 75 all-time NBA player.
Right.
But
Right.
LeBron said, in terms of watching Jalen Johnson, his
Hmm.
style of play, he has the ability to get to a point that Scottie Pippen
Wow.
was at when he played with Jordan. And this was straight out of LeBron's mouth. No, not hyperbole. That's it. And here's the reason why. Let's look at the stats so far this year for the season. Leads
Hmm.
the Hawks in all three categories: points, rebounds, and assists. 22.9 a game, 10.5 rebounds a game, which has been a big, change in his game this year, and
Hmm.
7.9 assists a game. And oh, by the way, shooting 50% from the floor. So,
Wow.
he's basically doing anything and everything you can ask out of your star players. Yeah, man. Jalen Johnson, the guy's just balling out. And
Right.
again, if he remains healthy, I think the Hawks are going to be a team that can go deep into the playoffs.
Right. I agree, man. Jalen Johnson is the guy that the Hawks need right now. He's actually leading this team, and he's doing the right thing. When he first started, we saw some highlights of what Jalen Johnson is expected to be or going to be. I like the fact that the coach brought in some players around him. Of course, one man can't do it all. He can be your superstar. He can be your lead, but you got to bring good people around him to make him great. And that's what LeBron had. What Michael Jordan had with Scottie Pippen and those guys. But I think we got the right choice right there with Jalen Johnson. I think we just keep watching, and like I said, we got a superstar in the making, I believe.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Like I said again, and the thing that's so great about him is his all around game. And they asked him in a press conference about him narrowly missing a double double the other night. He had 23 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists in their big win at home the other night against what I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, yeah, big game. Houston. I mean, excuse me, Phoenix. Yeah, I
Mm,
mean the guy, and they asked him about it. He said, well, he said, I'm looking forward to have more double doubles. I mean, more
right,
triple
right,
doubles throughout the season. So there was no like, hey, oh yeah, man, I just missed it. What's your guy? He's like, hey, he already realized he's already had multiple triple doubles this year. I think he's amongst the league leaders. Matter of fact, I know he is. And
right.
so just man, he's got that. He's just a cool guy, man. I mean, no, it doesn't look like things ruffle him at all. Like I said again, just carries himself with a real easygoing demeanor. And again, if he can continue to stay healthy, this Hawks team is going to be a tough out. I can tell you that
I,
right now.
I agree, man. And one thing, Jalen Johnson, he's a nice guy, man. He's not out there trying to get the crowd to do anything. He's trying to win ball games. I think I've heard him say before. As long as he do what he's supposed to do, those things that come, the triple double triples or whatever, they'll come in. But he goes out there and play basketball and playing team ball. He's not selfish with the ball. He passed the ball. I mean, you got Mr. Walker there. You got Daniels, and he got a crew around him. And if you play like you're supposed to play, um, the team. I think it looks like every ball game, who's ever hot to get the ball in their hands. I mean, give them opportunity to just go out there and play ball, and like I said, those numbers are coming. I mean, we got he's rebounding, he's assisting, and so I mean, the main thing is if you got all those numbers, you're not winning. What good is it? I mean, we want to win, and the more you win, the more people going to join in, the more people going to jump on that bandwagon. So I love them. I mean, I watch them win or lose. I tell people, I say, hey, I'm a big supporter of the Hawks, man. I'm a little bit about Trey Young. I like Trey Young, but I mean, hey, when it's the time, it's time. It's a business, and you out here. If you're not winning championships, things are not happening. Then you know the house got to make a decision. It's a tough decision to make.
It really is, man. I mean, here's a guy that, and the thing about Trey Young is that I tell everybody it's not a matter of Trey not being an all-star player. That's not the case. The problem is with Trey. was the way they've configured his team now. He just doesn't fit in this type of scheme that they have. I mean,
Exactly.
that's really it. I mean, this team is built around more of the modern day NBA. When I say modern day NBA, you have two choices. You can either, which they didn't do, get a big man like a Giannis, like a
Yes.
Scar, any of these guys you can name that are traditional big men, and then a Trey Young fits perfectly because the pick and roll, the alley oops, and then rim defender to help you, offset his defense is fantastic. But this team they have here is really constructed to be a up tempo, good defensive team because all these guys, although they don't have a rim protector, these guys all are very agile. They have long arms. They know how to play the passing lanes very well. And so, in that type of construct, where you have to keep the ball moving, you can't have a ball
Exactly.
down at guard. You got to keep the ball moving. He didn't fit. Now, I will tell
Right.
you something. On the Wizards, I think he's going to do quite well. Why? Because now you have a big man. They drafted a big man the same year as Atlanta did. I think his name is Scar. He's 7'1". He's a real 7-footer. And in that situation, you'll see Trey once he gets healthy, because a lot of people don't know he's not healthy. Once you see that, you'll see more and more the Trey that we saw here in Atlanta.
Right.
So,
Trey
but
was
like I
here.
said, right now he didn't fit.
Yeah, for 8 years. I mean, he was here 8 years. Don't get me wrong; he did a great job for those 8 years.
Right.
I mean, he didn't always have the people around him that he needed to do what he needed to do. But because he's probably going to be better at the Wizards now. I want a couple of things that I think that kind of held Trey back. He didn't play real good defense. I mean, you got 5 people on the court on both sides. I mean, you got to be able to defend. And in fact, actually, these guys watch film just like we watch them. And if you're not defending somebody's open, they can run up and down the court on you. And but that was one thing is one thing that he didn't do very well. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not talking about Trey or nothing like that in general. But I really, really, really like what I see right now, and I'm hoping, and if anybody from Atlanta Hawks, this is this broadcast, we need a big man in the middle, because what I am seeing as a fan of the Hawks, and I see players just drive in the middle, and they're not being stopped. I mean, we're trying, but we got speed. We got a lot of young guys that can run, but we need a big guy in the middle. We need somebody in the middle to stop the teams from driving in the middle. That's why teams are getting so many points. If you look at the scores at most of these ball games, you're getting 110, 120 points a ball game on your defense. You can score the same amount of points. It's like whoever scored the most points win. But to get to the playoffs and to get to the championship level, you got to stop some teams. You got to stop teams from driving up your middle. That's your bread and butter, and we got to make shots. We got people making shots now. But we got
Right.
to start stopping people from driving in and scoring so many points on us.
No doubt. Now, I'll tell you another pleasant surprise out of that Trey Young trade. CJ McCollum. I mentioned the other day, he playing like it's 2019. He got this since he's been back at the 6-man role. He has been outstanding. Let's take a look at his stats. CJ McCollum averaging about 27 minutes a game, but 18 points a game for CJ McCollum, 45% from the floor, hitting about 34.5% from the 3-point range. So he's been like, when we were younger, the Detroit Pistons had a guy called Benny Johnson. They called him the microwave because he would come in and be able to score quickly. So CJ McCollum is a very, very pleasant surprise. I tell you another guy who is a pleasant surprise. Two of them, actually. Two guys that kind of went under the radar. One of the things that the Hawks insisted when they made the trade for Trey Young, they said, we got to have Corey Kispert. And I was like, who? Corey Kispert? What he going to do? But at the end of the day, Kispert has been outstanding. He's a thicker big man. He's not as necessarily taller, but he's thicker. At 6'8", he's around 235. So he adds a lot of, bulk to the Hawks.
Right.
So let's take a quick look again. The other thing that the Hawks are having now is great all-around play. You have the other night 6 players in double figures. They have 4 different players averaging 15 points or more. Onyeka Okongwu, 16.3. You have CJ McCollum, 18.0. You have Jalen Johnson at 22.3. And you also have Nickeil Alexander-Walker at 20 points a game. So you got 4 guys that can basically light you up with those amounts of games. Listen, we're going to take a little quick break because in the green room, we have the man himself. You want to know who that is? We got to keep it locked right here for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be right back.
Looking for a vehicle? Come to Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We're a family-owned dealership that's been serving the Atlanta area for over 40 years, offering an unbeatable selection of new Fords, Lincolns, and pre-owned vehicles. Enjoy our exceptional customer service and great financing options tailored just for you. Visit us at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow, Georgia, located just 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Call us at 678-364-3979 or visit online at allenvigilford.net.
This is Patrick Willis, and this is Real Talk Sports.
Yes, indeed. We appreciate young Mr. Willis jumping in with us. At that time, there was a Super Bowl about 3 or 4 years ago. I told him then that he would be a Hall of Famer, and sure enough, he is now in the Hall of Fame. Speaking of Hall of Fame, this gentleman here in the green room, he is one of the best sports writers in the country. He's the embedded beat writer for the Falcons for AJC. He also is an award-winning sports writer, and he is Esquire par excellence. I'm talking about the one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter is back in the building. D-Led, what's going on, man?
Hey, Reverend, not too much. How you doing today? Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, boys, he's got the haberdashery working today, baby. He's got the fedora on, got the bow tie. He is official full throttle. Listen, we want to just say, man, we appreciate you. We know that you are doing quadruple duty. You had to do the press conference, then leave to go to the Senior Bowl. So let's get right to it. Talk to us a little bit about what you saw and heard at the Kevin Stefanski press conference, what you liked and maybe what you maybe think, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kevin's polished interviewer. Not guy to just drop sound bites left and right, but straight solid football guy. Shared his vision of being a tough, smart football team. Shared that he's not going to call the plays, which some people think that he should be calling the plays, but. And also shared his thoughts on some of his new coaches and so forth. Wouldn't touch my Kirk Cousins question, and then did discuss, his assessment of quarterback Michael Penix. So that kind of tells you that Kirk Cousins is about to get cut, and Penix is the guy moving forward. That's what we gotta have to read into that. So good press conference, good job by the coach. We looked to hear more for him. We need a little bit as we move forward.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about, I'm not familiar with his OC. I guess it's Tommy Ruse or Tommy Reese. What do you know about him, and what do you think about his style of play calling, or what's he going to bring to the table for Atlanta?
Yeah, it's a college guy. So Tommy played at Notre Dame. He called a little bit there, and then Nick Saban hired him at Alabama. So he was the year they had Jalen Milroe. They had the quarterback controversy, and, Milroe ended up taking over, but it was more an athlete type thing. He can't play like that in the NFL. And he called the last, from week 11 on last year. So he called all the Shador games. Shador had the last 7 up there in Cleveland. The record wasn't great. I think 2-6, but 2-5. So they did beat the Steelers. So, that's a big deal in Cleveland. So Tommy Reese, an inexperienced NFL play caller, will be at the controls of the Atlanta Falcons offense. And we saw that. We just saw that happen for 2 years with Zach Robinson. Did pretty good the first year. Then everybody caught up to him, and he didn't really counter. So, but he got a job in Tampa. I guess the good thing is if Tommy Reese falls on his face, then Stefanski could take it over.
BT, question for D-Led.
Hey, D-Leg, how you doing, man? Big follow of you. I watch you all the time, and we was at the Falcons. I guess we talked a couple times. Listen, how do you feel about Stefanski overall? I mean, coming in from Chicago, my thing is he haven't really had a winning season the last couple of seasons at
Cleveland.
At Cleveland. So how do you feel? How do you feel about him being the head coach of the Falcons?
Yeah, I try to look at the big picture. Everything. He did have the 2 playoff trips with Cleveland. Baker Mayfield was one, and then the next year they played 5 quarterbacks, including Deshaun Watson, and Joe Flacco. The last couple of years, it's been hard times up there in the They call it the factory of sadness.
Right.
That's what the Cleveland folks call it. They have retired it because
Right.
before he got there, they hadn't been in the playoffs in 17 years, I think.
Okay.
And then it was 12 years they hadn't had a winning season. It was bad. So
Wow.
since the Ravens left, the Cleveland folks had to put up with an expansion team basically.
Right.
And they named their stadium the Factory of Sadness because they
Wow.
always left their sad. And so
Right.
the next couple years with 3-3, I think it is 3-14. That's 6-28 has been his record. Factory of Sadness has returned, and they fired him.
Wow.
So, but there was some extenuating circumstances. The Sean Watson deal blew up. He kept getting hurt, Achilles, then shoulder, and they couldn't throw. They put all their money on the quarterback, so he couldn't go out and build around it. And so that offense fell off, and you still had a pretty good defense. And if you ever seen them play,
Right.
Matt Garrett leading the way, Denzel Ward at safety, Corey Schlesinger at linebacker. They always had a respectable defense. But, you out on the field, all games eventually going to wear down and lose some games. So that's what happened to them over the last couple of years. And, folks that don't want to blame the coach for that, blame it on the owners for giving Deshaun that unprecedented contract. So, I think he got to take his share in it. You still got to make, salad out of chicken stuff when you, don't have a situation. So he wasn't able to do that last year. But there again, he did beat the Steelers.
Yeah.
Give him credit for that.
Right. I got one other question for you. I heard you when you first came on the air. You said they still haven't answered a question about Kirk Cousins. I know Kirk Cousins. Personally, myself, I think Kirk Cousins did a good job. I like Kirk Cousins coming in last year, and it appeared to me that when he got injured, that injury in New Orleans that kind of changed things. But coming in next season, we expect Michael Penix to be our starting quarterback. I think personally that Kirk Cousins needs to stay. I know they say it's a money thing, but I don't think that's the problem. I think Kirk Cousins knows this team. He knows he went out on a good note. I think Kirk Cousins still need to be there until Michael Penix get back into place. I also think that if Kirk Cousins gets back in and starts winning, you don't take him out. But how do you feel about Kirk Cousins? I think you said you had a question. What was the question you had that coach never answered about Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I asked him to, I was like, what's your quarterback situation? What's your evaluation of the quarterback situation? Because I know you looked at it. And can you expound on your relationship with Kirk Cousins and if you're looking forward to working with him? And he talked about, well, there'll be a time later when I get with the GM, we'll sit down and figure out what's going on at quarterback and, and so forth. He kind of brushed it off or kicked it down the road. But then later, we know to come back at the coach. So we came back at him 3 times about Penix, and he eventually answered that. But as far as Kurt, he wouldn't touch it. And, it's like, yeah, we worked together before in Minnesota, not anything beyond that. So that tells you that they're going to cut him. They're going to give him a chance to find a job elsewhere, but they're leaving the door open for if he doesn't find anything, then he can come back. Because, there's no guarantee Penix is going to be ready to go at the start of the season. But he told me today, I talked to Michael on Wednesday, and the story's up on AJC.com, that he expects to be ready to go by the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to have a backup that's ready to go just in case he's not ready to go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if that's Kirk Cousins, that's Kirk Cousins. But Kirk wants a situation where he could start. He doesn't want to be, the known backup unless,
right.
He's 38.
Right.
It might not be no starting job out there for him.
Exactly.
So if there's not, then he can double back in August and come back and they'll keep like I said in the commercial, we're gonna leave the light on for you.
Light on for you, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So maybe they're gonna leave the light on for Kurt. If he gets out there and can't find anything, he can come on back because the light will be on.
Do you see? I know you just came back from the Senior Bowl down in Mobile. Do you see any top college prospect that we can maybe try to draft or pick up?
Yeah, I was looking at they got They got to get a cornerback, got to get a running back for Algier. Looked at the tight ends down there and the defensive tackles. I saw a big old kid from Texas Tech, Lee Hunter. You know, he won some battles, lost a couple against some of the big Iowa kids, but hey, that's no shame there.
Right.
Cornerback, Justin Jolie, represented by Kevin Connor from here in Atlanta, and the cornerback, Thaddeus Dixon from North Carolina. He learned from the Belichicks. Those two guys look like they can play. And the running back from Clemson, I like him a lot. He's Randall, the Randall kid, Adam Randall. Mm-hmm. He was a wide receiver up there, and they moved him to tailback last year, kind of like a Cordarrelle Patterson deal, where he can play running back. He caught about 40 passes, ran for almost 1,000 yards, you know. So you can move him around. And the Falcons need a big running back because I don't think they'll be able to keep Tyler Algier in free agency. So those are some of the guys we came back from the Senior Bowl. We're going to keep tracking them. We'll track the players around them at the tight end, cornerback, defensive tackle positions.
Okay. All right. So
What do you think about the GM hire? The young man coming in looks like he's had some experience with some winning programs. What do you think about him, and how do you think he's going to mesh with Coach Stefanski?
Yeah, Ian Cunningham, 40, from Texas, but he grew up some here in Roswell. Went to Trent Elementary with one of my guys, Michael Lyles, one of the attorneys, Alpha Chapter from Howard, who was behind me, much younger. A guy went to Vandy, so they were sharp kids, man. And so went to Virginia, got a bachelor's and a master's, played ball there for Al Groh, and worked under Ozzie Newsome, the one that generally considered the best talent evaluator of our time here. And then he also worked with Howie Roseman in Philly, who was also one of the top GMs, and he knows how to draft Georgia players. So that's another lesson he should have learned. And then with the Bears, you saw them play this year. That was a heck of a run by them, in the playoffs. And you saw the kid throw the bomb there. That was the throw of the century. And their defense is just nasty. So he helped to put that team together here. So maybe we could see that kind of depth and that kind of talent throughout the roster in a couple of years where, the Falcons will be able to cover the kickoff and play some defense. Right. And, and the quarterback is slinging bombs like that. So Ian Cunningham was, I think, he was a great hire by Matt Ryan in this new role.
Yeah, it looks like the young guns are taking over. I didn't realize I forgot that Matt himself just turning 40. You got Ian, he's 40. And then, of course, Stefanski, even though he's got that great beard, he's only about 44, 45, I think. So, I mean, definitely Arthur Blank is saying, hey, I need the young guns in here to make it happen. And we've seen the NFL, younger coaches have come in with kind of a game plan, whether it be Shanahan, whether it be our guy out in Cali, who ironically is an Atlanta guy as well. So hopefully the Falcons can kind of catch some lightning in the bottle, man. I know it's way too early. But, D-Led, do you think that this team, as constructed now, has a shot to finally get back to postseason play based on what we have in the kitty right now?
Oh, yeah, Reverend. I mean, if they beat the Jets, they're in.
Right.
And they're leading in that game with 8 minutes to go. So, right there, you got to figure they're in. Nobody's in the Carolina looked good in the playoffs. They went toe-to-toe with the Rams. They beat the Rams in the regular season just like the Falcons did. So, these two teams that are getting ready to play, the Falcons they played New England close. They didn't beat them. The field goal kicker missed extra point. But Seattle beat them down 37-9. So look at the top. Quit looking at the NFC South. We know that's low. Look what you did against these teams in the playoffs. And if you look at Seattle, you got a long way to go. You look at New England, you're like, hey, we missed the extra point. So that's where they're at. And if this coach can come in here and clean up those mistakes and those lapses, That's what it was. It was lapses. You got to play at the high level all the time. You don't get to pick and choose when you're going to play at a high level. And that was a problem that team had last year. And so I figure he's going to lay down the law early, and demand that, hey, we're not having this, we're going to take this play off, or we're going to not play against the Panthers and lose 30-0. He's got to set that mindset early. And, once he gets them to play at that level on a consistent week-to-week basis, then you got something. Then you're back in the playoffs. Then you're competing for trophies again. And not this, just trying to get you a T-shirt and a cap from the NFC South.
And good news, I have several of those here at my house. So.
Yeah.
I got a lot of them.
Well, you can actually make one this year because they were tied for first place at 8-9. But I don't see nobody wearing the title hats around.
Can I find the flag? NFC South tri-champion? Can I go ahead?
Yeah, you could. You could absolutely could.
I had another question. Just kind of going back a little bit on Matt Ryan hire. I wasn't able to make the press conference when Matt Ryan's first press conference. I know someone asked the question. Contemplate the question: what about hiring a person that don't have the experience for the job? And I think to make it spin. Well, you're talking about Matt, and eventually hired Matt. Do you think Matt Ryan with less experience would be a factor in the Falcons' future? Because of he don't have a lot. He has experience as a quarterback and being with teams and whatever. He even has some experience with the NFL for his doing play-by-play and whatever. But do you think he's the right man for the job, or do you think Arthur Blank just basically hired him because he know him, he can trust him, or he hired somebody basically he can trust?
Yeah, that, and he hired somebody that was smart. That is going to listen to people. And, Matt doesn't know anything about the salary cap, but they got a salary cap person. So he's going to listen to him and say, hey, I want to get these people under the cap, how you can do it. And then, he'll give out the assignment, the guy will come back with it, or the lady will come back with, hey, this is how this will work. So Matt's a listener, sharp individual. I dealt with him for 14 years, one-on-one. We don't have no issues, even, the tough questions, even after 28-3, So he's a pro's pro, and he knows ball, so he's got a shot. And I just want to, point out, though, that a lot of players would love to have that opportunity. D'Angelo Hall is one. He'd love to get in the front office. But he has probably got to try the more conventional route and get experience and so forth. So it is an exceptional thing to get a job like that, president of football with no experience. So they nothing can go wrong. But I think Matt, everybody I talked to, of course, they're, Coach Smith, Mike Mularkey, Robisky, they're like, Matt'll be fine. He knows football and he'll listen. That's the big thing is if you don't know anything, and you can know football, but if you don't know the operations of the league, and how to build a draft or have somebody that knows how to build a draft, you're gonna be Matt Millen. Y'all remember him in Detroit? They kept him for years, and he didn't have a clue what he was doing. Just because he was well liked and a good football player. So, hopefully Matt's not that. Hopefully he's John Lynch and he learns on the job. John's the GM in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan. Those two came in together and it's worked, just fine, other than the injuries and, stuff like that have undermined their Super Bowl bids. But, they've been in the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years or something like that. So maybe Matt and Matt could be more John Lynch than Matt Millen, and Tony Vaselli in Jacksonville. That's the setup that the Falcons kind of copied, we're going to see if this works for the Falcons in the long run. Looks pretty good. Looks like he's off to a good start, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, this John Elway. How did Elway get his position? I can't remember. I don't remember him really being the GM. Same thing, right? Yeah,
Same
so I
thing,
mean,
yeah, same thing. And he didn't really do too good either. He kept messing up the quarterback thing until he got Peyton Manning, and
he's a
then when
legend.
yeah, he kind of cheated.
Yep.
He get Peyton Manning, yeah, but he don't. Then he got out, so he was like, okay, I did enough, so time for me to get out of here. He got him a Super Bowl ring, and and then when Peyton Manning left, he left with him.
Smart man. And listen, at the end of the day, as much as people talk about the Peyton Manning thing, although this guy is not really a good quarterback, he did energize Denver, and he did get him a playoff win against Pittsburgh. I'm talking 10 people. I mean, Tebow was not a real quarterback, but he did what he needed to do. He got the team energized, and then John said, good news, you can't take us any farther, and we need to get the legend in here, and the rest was history, man. So, yeah, good stuff. Listen, D-Led, I know that you got a packed schedule, brother, so I'm going to let you kind of take off and do what you do, because I know you had one on the show before this. I'm sure you got a show after this. I'm going to tell you something, guys. This guy is in more demand than anybody I've ever seen. Every time I turn around, he's on 92.9. They're calling him from New Orleans. They're calling him from all over the place. And let me tell you why. Because he is the guy that knows more about the Falcons than anybody. So, if you want to find out more about him,
D-Led
okay.
like E.F. Hutman. Remember that? When E.F. Hutman,
Right, yeah,
everybody listen.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, DT. You done aged off as broke. No young cat listening. Like, who? E.F. Hutton. What are they talking about? All right, you know how we do it. We want to make sure that you guys can find out more about our guests. So, Mr. D. Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Reverend. Yeah, you can get our work on ajc.com. That's our website where all our stories and information come. And you could also sign up for the Dirty Birds Dispatch newsletter there. You get that every Thursday in your email inbox, and that's free. So you can also sign up for that on our Twitter account at DOrlandoAJC. Just at the top of the page, hit the early Dirty Birds Dispatch and give us your email, and we'll keep you in the loop on what's going on with the Atlanta Falcons on AtlantaJournalConstitution.com. Thank you, Reverend.
Orlando Ledbetter, as always. Appreciate you, man. God bless.
All right. God bless.
That was the man himself, D. Orlando Ledbetter. We thank you so much for joining us. And now, if you want to know what's going on really with high school football, especially in Clayton County, well, Dennis Thomas, the floor is yours.
Hey, listen, man, I appreciate it, Jonathan. Again, Georgia Media Network Services, we are a nonprofit organization, and we are working through the high schools in Clayton County. We also working with the high school students. You can find us on Georgia Media Network, or GA Media Network, also at our website on YouTube at Georgia Media Network Services.com. Georgia Media Network Services. The season is kind of low right now, so we're actually getting back in, getting ready for the next season. Mr. Simmons right there at Real Talk Sports. So we're gonna be working together on some projects, hopefully up and coming if he want to work with me, or we want to work together, should I say? But yeah, that's about it. So we appreciate you, Jonathan, letting me be on your show today.
Dennis Thomas, appreciate you, brother. All right, guys. You know, well, maybe some of you don't know, I'm actually a real life minister. I didn't get it out of the cereal box either. I'm actually a real minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So, with all this stuff going on today, guys, on a serious note, I will tell you, please, ma'am, please, sir, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, you got to do that today. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. Nobody loves you like him, not your auntie, not your bae, not your boo, not your mom or grandma. And he's the only way you can get to a happy place called heaven. And if you repent of your sins and believe in him, two great things happen. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, asking for whatever you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. As I mentioned before, you avoid that nasty place called hell with all the demons and the devil. You get to spend eternity with Jesus Christ, God, and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like that option better than the first one. All right, everybody, until the next time we get back together again, we simply say as we do each week, God bless you, and have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, whichever may apply. So long. Take care.